Okay, so this is the real deal here. Will this happen? Now, the European weather model also had this. So keep in mind, this is looking out to next Thursday, the 17th. So next week. But that is a push of Canadian air right there. That is dry air. And this is far out. Will this happen? We are going to have to wait and see. But there is some indication, a pretty strong signal from not only the GFS, but the European weather model that we could have, again, some drier air trying to win out late next week. All right, going into Friday, I believe that is the 18th, late next week. And this would be nice. Check out that front. That would have some power to it. So look at this, like the shape of this. That would be some good, like Great Lakes Canadian air. And then you can see the shape of that front pushing all of the mugginess down over the south and southeast. So yeah, that would be our biggest hope of some mid-July relief from the humidity if we can get that to happen. That's something that'll be interesting to watch day by day. You know, sometimes the front doesn't end up as strong, and then we end up with the humid air still sitting over us. But if this can happen, that would be our best chance. Yeah, Kindle, that is better. That would be our best chance. Oh, I got you, David. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. All right, so let's go. Let's see how farther out we can go. We'll go to, I think Saturday would be the 19th. And once again, as we look at the big view here, that would be nice. Pushing all the tropical stuff down over the south. So this, hey, let's just keep track. So we're, week and a half away from this. This is a big question, like, will it happen? So let's keep tabs on that for late next week. That would be a big game changer. That would be like a rare time you get some good, refreshing air to move in and give us a little bit of a break. So keep tabs. Like that would be the next, not this Friday, but next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that we might get a little bit of a break right there. So good question there from Kendall Boyd saying, now that's better. Thanks for the question. That was a good one. Looking at a different product here, let's go to the Climate Prediction Center. And sometimes they will, they'll get the hint as well at the long range weather model data. This shows the 6 to 10 day outlook. So this is looking toward, the middle of next week and generally kind of near normal temperatures, which is what I have, upper 80s, low 90s. Normal high is 89 this time of the year. Going to the 8 to 14 day outlook, not much change, maybe slightly above average. I think, if that signal still exists for that cool down late next week, let's see if the CPC, the Climate Prediction Center, also starts to show some blue on the map. That would be interesting. You're so welcome. Thanks for watching this morning, Mr. Boyd. And let's look at the Storm Prediction Center. So we have no risk. This is the lightest green is what's called just general thunderstorms, but we're again mostly dry across our area today. Out towards Washington, D.C., New York is where there is a slight risk of severe storms for today. We go to day 2 tomorrow. No risk of severe storms for us. It's a summertime pattern. There's only, Northern Plains has level 1 out of 5, and the Mid-Atlantic 1 out of 5. Getting into the kind of the lazy days of summer where we don't have a lot of severe weather. Day 3, a slight risk of severe storms. That is out towards western Iowa and eastern Nebraska. So no biggie for us. The tropics are quiet right now. Kind of midsummer weather here for us. All right, that is it. That is the weather model data. We'll get back into the forecast here. Do a recap of all of that. We'll remove that. We can actually take a little peek outside again at the live conditions. So you got some high cirrus clouds. You've got some low cumulus clouds growing out there as well. Live look from uptown New Albany here at the corner of Vincennes and Market, Extol Media Studios at 10:40 on your July the 8th. Thanks for joining Ben at 10 this morning. And a reminder, too, tomorrow, Wednesdays with Weddington. If you have any questions around your home, again, if your home's getting a little age to it, there's a lot of things that pop up. If you have any questions, just drop it in the comments. I'll take a peek at that. And for Brad, we always like to check in with Brad a couple times a month for his expertise. Here's that forecast. David Phillips, thank you so much. Thanks for dropping in the comments there. Awesome presentation. So the forecast here for today, upper 80s, humid, less humid the farther north of the river you go today. So there's just a little pocket of slightly drier air. Laura, you're just in time. We're getting back to the forecast here. Happy to have you on board, as always. And just another shout out to my son Brady there in the middle. He got the number 1 spot. He had the lowest round at Champions Point for the juniors, the junior age for Southern Indiana Junior Golf. Sponsored by NWSB. Thanks for supporting our local community golf there, NWSB. So it was funny. They took it in stride, as did the parents, with these huge downpours that came through the area yesterday in the afternoon. And if you look closely here, you can see the steam rising off the golf path there. As the sun came out, it just made it super humid, and then another downpour would come. So it was wet golf gloves, wet shoes, wet socks, wet everything, wet golf cards with these towering cumulonimbus clouds that we had out there providing these downpours across the area. Today, like yesterday, UV index of 10. I do think we'll see some of these clouds clear out for the afternoon. Allergy report is low with the grass and weed pollen out there. Just splicing in a little bit of good news there for us. And this is interesting here. So the sunset now at 9:08. By July 24th, ignore that sunset time. I need to fix that for 8:59. But we lose 20 minutes of daylight between now and July 24th, a little bit later this month. And then we're losing about an hour of daylight per month. As we go to September 9th, we get before 8 p.m. sunset. So just in 2 months, we're down 2 hours of daylight. And then by November 2nd, we got that time change. We're at 5:42 p.m. It's a little over 100 days away, and we lose 4 hours of daylight. So we're on the downward trend as far as daylight goes. 89, that forecast high today for your July 8th today. 10% chance or less. Most of the area will be dry this afternoon, partly cloudy. So not like yesterday, drier day today. West winded around 5 to 10. And tonight, an isolated shower possible, low 71 degrees. Otherwise, pretty calm night out there. And your forecast tomorrow for your Wednesday, July the 9th, 72 out the door. I do think there's a little better chance of some spotty showers around mid to late morning especially. And then maybe a little drier in the afternoon, but giving it about a 40% chance of a pop-up afternoon shower or thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon. No severe weather with this. And temps in the upper 80s with probably more clouds tomorrow than today. 7-day forecast, 30% chance of that shower or thunderstorm Thursday with a high of 88, 91 for Friday, mostly dry Friday. It looks like a front will try to move through Saturday. That should give us more of a spark for some scattered showers and thunderstorms right now for Saturday. That was kind of flip-flop from yesterday. Sunday was like the day the front was going to move through. Now the models have upped that to Saturday. So then maybe Sunday will end up drier. We're going to continue to fine-tune that as we move along. And then typical kind of midsummer weather, lower 90s, Monday, Tuesday, pop-up shower or thunderstorm possible there both days as well. Now, if you're Lori, you may have missed the relief part of the show. If you're watching the replay, uh, that was probably around 10. When did Kendall ask that question? 10:35. It's about 10 minutes ago. Probably the most interesting portion of Bennett 10 was will we get this big, huge push of dry air from Canada late next week? So that would be what we watch and monitor for some relief next week.